What's going on? It's your boy Perfect Harmony, man. For all the producers and up-and-coming engineers, do you find yourself mixing slow, second-guessing yourself, and wondering how your mix is going to translate at the final stage during mastering? Well, today, man, I got a solution for you. I'm going to show you how I've been using the LANDR Mastering Pro plugin on my mix bus to get an insight of how my mix is going to translate after mastering. You know what I'm saying? So it'll help me make the decisions that I need to make. So when mastering comes in, compress things and stuff like that, it'll still translate how I hear it in my head and how I'm hearing it in my room. So stick around and I'm going to show you how I use this technique to mix a whole lot faster. So as you can see, today we got Studio One pulled up. I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit of what I'm working on so you can hear it so far. And then I'm gonna pull up the LANDR Mastering Pro plugin to show you how it leads me to make better decisions of how the mix is gonna sound after mastering. So let's go ahead and play this real quick.
I know it get crazy sometime when you got the light but it won't shine. Better get a grip or I'm losing my mind. Gotta remember that I'm breathing, I know it's a sign, yeah. You wanna wait, you don't see it, but you true magic like Yassi and Bay. Everything's stacked against you, but you still in the race. I've been through this, even the times when I fell flat on my face. Even when that government cheese was the only thing on my plate. Still put my hands together, close my eyes, kept saying my grace.
So as you can see, it's a couple issues that definitely needs to be fixing. So let's go ahead and pull up the LANDR Mastering Pro plugin real quick. We're gonna throw it on the master bus. So LANDR Mastering Pro. So when you pull this up, it's gonna say it's waiting for audio playback. So I'm gonna just go ahead and play a little bit more of the song so we can analyze it.
Yeah. You wanna wait, you don't see it, but you true magic like Yassi and Bay.
So after analyzing the mix, this is what it came up with for the master. I'm gonna play it again and you can see what's missing and what's not missing. You know what I'm saying? What we will have to add in here, we can add before it actually hits this plugin. So when it hits your final master, if you send it to a mastering engineer, it can already have the elements of where your mix is supposed to be before it hits mastering. So let's go ahead and play a little bit of this and we'll see how it's going to enhance our decision making so we can have a better mix before it's actually sent to a real mastering engineer.
I know it get crazy sometime when you got the light but it won't shine. Better get a grip or I'm losing my mind. Gotta remember that I'm breathing, I know it's a sign, yeah. You wanna wait, you don't see it, but you true magic like Yassi and Bay. Everything's stacked against you, but you still in the race. I've been through this, even the times when I fell flat on my face. Even when that government cheese was the only thing on my plate. Still put my hands together, close my eyes, kept saying my grace. Through it all, kept it.
So as we can see, the LANDR Mastering Pro plugin is doing a lot of clamping down on the low end. So that can kind of tell you that the low end and my kick might be a little bit too loud for mastering. So when they send it into mastering to get everything balanced, it's going to squish that low end because you can tell what the LANDR Mastering Pro plugin is doing. It's clamping down on the low end because the kick in the mix is a little bit too loud. Let's play that again real quick so you can hear what I'm saying.
It's a sign, yeah. You wanna wait, you don't see it, but you true magic like Yassi and Bay. Everything's stacked against you, but you still in the race. I've been through this, even the times when I fell flat on my face. Even when that government cheese was the only thing on my plate. Still put my hands together, close my eyes.
See that low end?
Through it all, kept it pushing like the car stalled. Thought I was.
So we can see using this plugin is going to give us insight of what mastering is going to do to the mix. So before I send it to mastering, I would want to take that kick and bring it down because it's clamping too much on my mix. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to the before and after, when it's bypassed and not bypassed, you can hear that kick is a little bit too loud in the mix.
It's a sign, yeah. You wanna wait, you don't see it, but you true magic like Yassi and Bay. Everything's stacked against you, but you still in the race. I've been through this, even the times when I fell flat on my face. Even when that government cheese was the only thing on my.
So this gonna help me go back into the mix, dial down the kick and the low end. So when it gets to mastering has to do less compression and I have a more open master. You know what I'm saying? If I keep it like this and send it to mastering is gonna think the same thing. The kick is way too loud, so I'm gonna have to use compression or some kind of dynamics to get that low end to balance out so you can get the mix louder. If not, this mix is probably not going to be as loud in mastering as it could be. You know what I'm saying? So it's helping you make those subtle decisions. When it gets to mastering, you can get the optimized loudness for your mix. So let's go back into the mix, make those decisions that we just heard from the mastering plugin, and see if we can get a better master after we reanalyze the plugin. So I'm gonna go into the mix. Let's see. Kick, we're gonna turn that down. Let's go down about maybe 4, maybe 3.5 dB. I wanted to turn the snare up a little bit because I heard that in the mastering plugin as well. That need to come up a little bit. And the bass, let's go ahead and increase the bass a little bit. Let's do about 2 dB on the bass. All right. Now we're gonna listen to that, and then we're gonna reanalyze it with the Mastering Pro plugin and see if we can get a better master. And these are the steps we're gonna need to take, before we actually send it to a real mastering engineer, because this plugin is actually giving you insight of what to do before it actually gets to mastering. All right, now let's reanalyze that with the mastering plugin.
It's a sign, yeah.
So as you can see, it's finished analyzing. Let's go ahead and play it back and see, where these new decisions take us to as far as the mastering.
Everything stacked against you, but you still in the race. I've been new this, even the times when I fell flat on my face. Even when that government cheese was the only thing on my plate. Still put my hands together, close my eyes.
So as we can see, the hi-hats are a little bit too loud. So we're gonna leave the plugin on, and we're gonna actually make these decisions while the plugin is still on. So once we bypass the plugin, this will be the file that we send to mastering without this plugin. But this is just giving you an insight of how it's going to sound after mastering. So let's go ahead and make a couple decisions while this plugin is still engaged.
Everything stacked against you, but you still in the race. I've been new this, even the times when I fell flat on my face. Even when that government cheese was the only thing on my plate. Still put my hands together, closed my eyes, kept saying my grace. Through it all, kept it pushing like the car stalled. Thought I would never make it ahead, but I was far off. Things stacked against you, but you still in the race. I've been new this, even the times when I fell flat on my face. Even when that government cheese was the only thing on my plate. Still put my hands together, closed my eyes, kept saying my grace. Through it all, kept it pushing like the car stalled. Thought I would never make it ahead, but I was far off. I know it get crazy sometimes. Everything stacked against you, but you still in the race. I've been new this, even the times when I fell flat on my face. Even when that government cheese was the only thing on my plate. Still put my hands together, closed my.
See, that hi-hat is going a little bit crazy. Let's add a compressor to get it, to bring it down so it could be a little bit more smoother and compressed without, being irritating to the ear, I'm finding. So let's see, let's use
Everything stacked against you, but you still in the race. I've been new this, even the times when I fell flat on my face. Even when that government cheese was the only thing on my plate. Still put my hands together, closed my eyes, kept saying my grace. Through it all, kept it pushing like the car stalled. Thought I would never make it ahead, but I was far off.
Let's go to this instrument bus, and we're gonna add spectra on here and add a little bit more mid on the instrument bus.
Everything stacked against you, but you still in the race. I've been new this, even the times when I fell flat on my face. Even when that government cheese was the only thing on my plate. Still put my hands together, closed my eyes, kept saying my grace. Through it all, kept it pushing like the car stalled. Thought I would never make it ahead, but I was far off.
Okay, after all these decisions we just made, listening through the Landr Mastering Pro plugin, let's go ahead and bypass the master and see where our mix is. I got a feeling this is going to give us a better interpretation of where the mix should be for mastering. So when we bypass this plugin, bounce the file and send it to mastering, it's going to be closer to what they want. You know what I'm saying? So we won't have that, that kick that was too high, those hi-hats was too loud, and then we're gonna have more mid-range in a mid-focus mix. So let's go ahead and bypass the Mastering Pro plugin, and we're gonna see where our new mix is.
Everything stacked against you, but you still in the race. I've been new this, even the times when I fell flat on my face. Even when that government cheese was the only thing on my plate. Still put my hands together, closed my eyes, kept saying my grace. Through it all, kept it pushing like the car stalled. Thought I would never make it ahead, but I was far off. I know it get crazy sometimes when you got the light, but it won't
So as you continue on with this process, you'll get closer and closer to a mix that's great for mastering. So for more videos like this, man, make sure y'all like and subscribe. Also check the link in the description and make sure you get my discount code and you'll get 20% off. If you want to try this plugin, you could try it beforehand. If you like it, use that 20% off code and you can actually get, a little bit of discount. And I think this will definitely help you, doing the mixing process to make the right decisions for your master. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just keep listening, wasting time, going back to the car, getting frustrated. So if you know how it's going to sound at the end of mastering, you can make the right decisions all along the way. So make sure y'all check out this plugin, man, and try this technique. And I guarantee you, it'll give you a better insight of what your mix should be. For more videos like this, man, like, share, subscribe. It's been your boy, man, Perfect Harmony, and I'm out.